Day, everybody. Welcome back to the Yellowfang 42 channel, where we are going to do more level 99 shenanigans. And by level 99 shenanigans, I mean progressing to level 99. I had a very, very good test stream early today. It worked out so perfectly. I was kind of in shock, actually. It was really impressive. So the new setup is most certainly staying, and thank goodness, because I put in a lot of effort to set the whole thing up in the first place. So yeah, it's sticking regardless. Hang on a second. Let me do some slight adjustments. Alright, there we go. I think I fixed it. Let's tap that. Alright, theoretically I should still be able to read everything. Yes, thank goodness. New glasses, finally using my desktop to its maximum potential. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, this is nice. So as far as I could tell, this is technically going to be the load test for me, since this is at the usual time of day. So far so good, but we're only about 2 minutes in. But I'm having higher hopes already. For one, the computer that is doing the streaming actively is a little bit closer to the broadcasting for the Wi-Fi. And two, it is much higher power than the laptop, so it's not fighting for its life while doing the recording, the streaming, and so forth. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. We will see, because goodness knows I have been hit by surprises. Speaking of surprises, I'm surprised that I got to the HP gate so quickly. This is awesome. I'm loving it. Alright. We are off to a swimmingly good start. We already have 40 XP, which is the minimum amount that we can get. The maximum we can get is 80. If we're lucky, we can get an 80 today, but I am not in too much of a panic mode. If I don't get the 80s, it's okay. It just gets me to the next level a teensy bit faster. Just a teensy bit. I do see a little bit of squareage going on, but I am working at a 2000 bit rate right now, if I recall correctly. That might get pushed up if I remember to not walk into walls. But for now the 2000 bit rate is going to stay as is. We'll see. Thursday will be the true load test. I was looking at the Wi-Fi sucks video, the second one, because I was like, I need to chop this down because I do not want it to be nearly 7 minutes long. That's a little ridiculous. So I managed to chop up a good chunk of the footage down. And now all I have to do is the art stuffs for some of the clips. And yeah, once I do the art stuffs, then it'll just be another set of smooth sailing. And hopefully I can get that out within the next week. There might be a slight delay, and I might end up not streaming on, I think it's next Monday. We'll see. As of current, my schedule is a potential to be in flux. I fully expect something to throw a wrench in my schedule, but I am totally fine with that. I can maneuver. I have learned some adaptability, thank goodness. Okay, that is actually kind of pissing me off now. Maybe I should change the bitrate right now. Because I'm looking at the YouTube stream and it looks kind of ugly. You know what? Let's load test. Let's do it. I don't know why I'm hitting the pause button. I don't need to. We're doing a whole lot of load testing today. Okay, settings. I'm pretty sure I can do this while I'm live. Stream. No, it's outputs. Video bitrate. Let's bump it up to... We're just gonna bump it up to 2500 and see how that goes, okay? Why does it look so pixely? I'm working with an old monitor. I forgot. Alright. I will give it a few minutes with the current setup, see how it feels. So far I kind of like it already, but I'm gonna see if I see the glitchies. Because if I see the glitchies, then we're gonna have problems. Or it's just YouTube throwing a conniption. It has been having some issues lately from what I heard, but that's mainly for view counts from what I saw in the YouTube Studio thing. Oh yeah, shoot. Huh. I think I can afford to raise the bitrate. Hell yeah. Okay, we're at 2500 right now. So far... YouTube, why are you like this? Let me double check that it's not just my iPad throwing a conniption again. Because it is an old thing. Why are you on crack? Come on, throw the 1080. You can do it, baby. Okay, no, I think that's just the broadcasting. Let me see how the Twitch side looks. Oh, you. Guess what? We're raising the bitrate again. But this is good. This is good. This is good load testing. And I'm finding out how much I can push this without breaking anything. I don't know if it, the only thing that I can think of, no, I should be able to change it while I'm live. Whew. Gorgeous. Okay. I'm not pushing it any higher than 3000, chat. Because 3K is where I was at, and that was in regards to my... Oh, I can still count some pixels. Yikes. Is it still in the auto of, Okay. Well, it's holding up super well, so... I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain in the slightest. I should have done this ages ago. I should have done this so long ago. To be fair though, I didn't have quite the right setup to be able to pull this off, but now I do. Because I had to do some room rotation in the first place to get this working. And then I had to sacrifice a nightstand to become a desktop. Hang on. My brain is all over the place. I had to sacrifice a nightstand, which is technically just a desk, one of those folding desks, to become the new computer desk for the desktop. I was actually working at it just today. I've got a little box that I can sit on that works as both a seat and storage, and it is working tremendously. I am super stoked about it. Oh my gosh, that looks so much... Well, okay. Okay, YouTube is just having a conniption again. That's fine. That's fine. We're not losing frames. That's the best part. I think that's the best part of all. Everything is going so nicely. Ah! It makes me wary. It makes me extremely wary, but since I raised the bitrate, it's really going really well. Oh golly, that is so good. Fingers crossed, our troubles might be over when it comes to the disconnect problem. It might have just been my laptop all along. Maybe. To be fair, my laptop never gets priority when it comes to internet, ever. Like, I have to run the troubleshooter every time I start the darn thing up from sleep. And there was like a solid month and a half straight where it just had problem after problem after problem and kept crashing. Like, it got to the point where I genuinely was like, oh my gosh, I actually do need to get a new laptop or a new desktop or something to write with. I even started getting ready to port all of my documents over to whatever new computer I purchase. But then I managed to fix it. I fixed the initial problem that caused it in the first place, and it's been somewhat okay ever since. Oh, this is so awesome. I am living for the fact that it's behaving so well. This is beautiful. And now my laptop will probably end up falling by the wayside. I'm just kidding. It'll end up being primarily for my writing stuff, which will be a lot less load intensive than the streaming and video editing and so forth. Yay! Good ending! We got the good ending, chat. Suddenly my ISP just has a flippin' outage or something like that. That's a joke, by the way. There's no outage. Yay! Oh, I was so stoked earlier today when I did the test run with Power Wash Simulator. It was working so freaking well. I was kind of shocked. I still kind of am. I keep eyeballing OBS, and I'm like, you gonna cause problems for me? It's like, nope, everything's fine. I've got the hardware to work with. It's totally fine. And I'm like, oh, okay. But are you actually fine? And it says, yes, I'm okay. It's okay, Yellowfang, you don't have to worry anymore. Shitty hardware can't hurt you anymore. I say that even though I had to do some puzzle solving, and I was really lucky with my puzzle solving for getting this set up in the first place. Because there are only 4 USB ports on the desktop. This was probably a foolish mistake, but I didn't want to deal with a Dell. I have seen too many Dell desktops in my life. I don't want to see another one if I can. If I can avoid it. They're not bad. I just got sick of seeing them. Anyway, so there's only like 4 USB ports, and I have a USB hub, and that thing is its own nightmare in of itself. Because if you happen to turn off the computer while it's still plugged in, it will forget that it was plugged in and just disconnect everything. And the only way to solve it is to disconnect everything and then uninstall the USB hub and then plug it back in and then slowly plug everything back in one by one. And some things, the computer itself, the computer does not recognize some devices, like for example my external hard drive that I save a lot of video data to. It does not recognize it, it throws a fit. And I'm trying to think, and then there's the capture card, which needs to be directly plugged into it needs to be directly plugged in to be acknowledged as well. So I am very lucky that my keyboard USB is a little bit more cooperative with the USB hub. And I already know that the headset is very cooperative because that's how I use that. I'm used to limited USB ports. This is my domain, is figuring out how to monkey wrench my way through things. I don't think monkey wrench is the right word. It's the first phrasing that I could think of. But I'm good at solving physical puzzles. I can solve problems so long as they have the tools to resolve them. If I don't have the tools for them, I can't do it. But now that we've done all this rearranging and stuff, I feel a lot more confident about branching out, not just to like this, but also branching out into using my desktop and streaming some of the games from my desktop PC, because now I'm just using one computer. I'm not having to alternate between the 2 computers now. I'm very happy about this. I am excessively happy about this, actually. Yay! I'm just gonna keep rambling about how jazzed I am about the computer being so well behaved. I am very proud of it. I'm still proud of my laptop for working so hard after all this time, because it's not a It's not a baby anymore. It's an old computer. And it has done splendidly on all the jobs I have asked it to do. And it was fighting. It was fighting so hard for my behalf. So I will give my laptop its flowers because it has given me very, very much for what I had in the first place. I mean, hey, it was the equipment that I used for starting off streaming in the first place. Because I was like, you know what? I don't have the desktop yet, but I'm gonna get in the habit of streaming, and I almost went all the way back down. Silly me. And now that I'm in the habit, I feel more comfortable using the desktop. And also now that I've updated OBS and it doesn't have 9 million whack-ass docs on my screen. And I think this computer likes the monitor. I think it likes this monitor better, which is really funny. Because the monitor has speakers equipped on it, except the left one is the only one that works. I don't know what happened to the right one. I think it got dinged or something, and it just doesn't work anymore, the right one. So I had to switch it to mono audio just for it to function. I was playing around with it last night, making sure everything works and everything runs well. It's been super swell. Oh my gosh. Yay! Maybe my curse of Thursdays will be finally broken. I look forward to that curse getting broken. Oh my gosh. Thursdays, man. Not related to any curses. Guess who's drinking water again? It's me. I think part of my jaw is trying to unhinge, but it's only the left side. It's trying to slip out of the hinge or something like that, and it's really uncomfortable right now. I'm doing a lot of things that feel like starting fresh. I wonder if it's finally time to give myself another haircut, except a more drastic one. I might do a big chop. I have done a bob before, and I looked pretty decent with a bob. It'll probably get super floopy on the end, but I do like having the ability to pull my hair out of my face. It's a struggle, because some days I like my hair long, and then some days I want my hair to be super short. And I know the solution is probably just wig, but I don't always want to wear a wig. And also, I have a limited amount of wigs that are actually styled to my preference. I need to style my... Ooh, maybe I'll start styling my wigs. Maybe I'll record a video and style my wigs in the recording. That'd be pretty sick, actually. And I could record it horizontally. I have the power. I can borrow a, there's at least 2 of those phone stands in the house from someone else in the family. I can borrow one of them and record horizontally, I think. And then if I record horizontally, I can mess with the wigs. Yay! Life is good. It's a good day. Shoot, even yesterday turned out pretty well. And there were some hiccups at the beginning of the stream, but it still turned out. I was very happy about it. There were a little bit of blips and bobs and stuff, but my laptop was fighting. So, love you, laptop. You're so pretty. It's sitting in the spot where the desktop used to be. I'm so proud of it. I really am. You gotta be nice to some of your technology, and sometimes you gotta scold it like a reckless teenager or whatever. Sometimes you just gotta get things to behave themselves. That reminds me, I should probably use my printer. I haven't used it since I replaced and fixed up the ink, and I don't want the ink to dry out. I wonder if I can plug it into my laptop right now. Oh, I probably can't because there's a flash drive in the way, and I only have so many USB hubs. I have one USB hub. Maybe I should get a second USB hub. because I kind of like having them. I like the ability to connect 9 million things to my laptop. It's fun. Sometimes you want to connect 9 million things to your laptop. So what do you do? Introducing the USB hub. There to help out when the manufacturers just didn't give you enough USB ports to get the job done. And especially when you have to use USB ports up for essential things, like a mouse, a distant keyboard, or maybe even a headset microphone. I don't know where I'm going with this anymore. Other than me wheezing out of my bones or something like that. Oh, that was great. That was fun. I like that. That reminds me of this one time I was like 10, maybe 13. This was like years ago. Way years ago. I was a youngin' who had an opportunity to do auditions for like acting and stuff, but I did not take it as seriously as I should have. Although, in hindsight, it's probably fine that I didn't take it as seriously. I was just there to have fun. But I did have the opportunity. I sound like one of those high school graduate, one of those people who are stuck in high school years and be like, I could have gone pro if it weren't for the injury. That sort of thing. The only reason I make jokes about it is because it is a very common thing and is not specific to any specific person. I am very sure that there is at least one person that you know of or have met that has done something like that, where they say they could have gone pro if not for the injury, which maybe they could have, but you don't know. You never know. It's a good idea to reflect on the past. Let's give a little bit of a positive spin to the folks who get a little bit stuck on it. It's good to reflect on the past, but the problem is when you get stuck on it, you find yourself unable to move on. You feel like that was the best time, and you don't get to grow and find out that there are in fact much better times ahead. And occasionally much worse times. Yeah. It's a good thing to think about, you know? Oh my gosh, ow. That one actually hurt. That was like, I lost my breath for a second, got a hiccup, and there was like something of a burp that tried to spawn, and it just was a mess. That kind of hurt, actually. That felt like a little punch in the stomach. Ow, my back. Speaking of pain. Yeah. I think I already said the bonus of the new setup was that I can now play my piano, which is really funny because right now my phone that babysits Twitch chat, it is currently... My phone is babysitting Twitch chat and is currently sitting on top of a Squishmallow that one of my college roommates got for me for my birthday back in college, obviously. It's sitting that way so then I can read the chat on the piano bench. So the piano is still not in use, but I mean, to be fair, if I was monitoring the stream from the piano, I would have the phone like set up on the reading point. I just don't want to damage my charging cord, and I don't want to turn the thing sideways because then it makes it harder to read chat. Nice. Whee! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how great this is going. I'm kind of shocked and concerned. I'm still reeling. I just couldn't believe it was working so well earlier this afternoon. I like streamed earlier this afternoon just to give it a test run. Like I did the full load test. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna pretend that this is like a full on stream. I only streamed for like 30 minutes at most. Actually, technically 25. But I did a whole, like, test run. I ran the recording at the same time. I'm still doing the recording, so then that way I don't have to download the VODs in case there is, like, a random outage. I have been made cautious. I have been made extremely cautious, but for good reason. But, yeah, the full load of recording and streaming, and the bitrate was behaving pretty well at, like, what, I think I had it at like 2,000 or something. And now I've bumped it up to 3,000 and it is behaving super well. It does look a little bit ugly on the YouTube side. I do apologize for that. I'm trying to take things nice and steady, and I don't want to overload my desktop right off the bat. Maybe halfway through the stream I'll bump it up to 35, but I don't know if that would be pushing the limits on my ISP, because that is my current one now. And I also don't want to just take over the entire, I don't want to take over all the bandwidth, because I want it to be a stable connection while not interfering too drastically with others' connections in the house, because I am not a solo person. I'm not a solo act in my living status, and I need to respect that I am not a solo act. Yay! Oh, goodness gracious me. Alright, come here, buddy. We'd like some XPs, please. Oh, this is so beautiful. I'm so happy about this. Oh, that's odd. No, that sounds normal. Okay, I must have... Sorry, for a second I thought I had a little bit of, like, I wouldn't say heart palpitations, because I have a pretty healthy heart. But for a second I thought my heart was, like, throwing a fit or something like that. Nope, it's just back pain. It's just back pain pulling on things. I am A-okay. I might be able to do a setup, because I have a numpad now. I might be able to do a setup where I can push a button and it'll shoot confetti on the screen. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm gonna keep geeking out about the stuff. Let's just, oh man, I'm in such a good mood. I'm in a good mood. I'm trying to make sure I sleep better. I'm trying to tidy things up a little bit, make it easier to do the streaming thing, because I really like it. I really have a lot of fun doing this, by the way. Despite the fact that I've had the issues with the internet and possibly mainly my laptop beating my ass every time I live stream, I really do enjoy this. This is a lot of fun for me. That gets me thinking about my early days on YouTube. Just hit the mark for being able to make an account, start posting videos. Ow. That was a preemptive out, by the way. And the fact that I did an entire TMNT 2007 playthrough with 2 stools, my XP computer, which by the way, it's the same monitor that was blasting the music in that video. This is the same monitor that was blasting music in the background of those videos. That, and my camcorder, which could only do 15 minutes max. Actually, I managed to get it to do 30 for the last one. But just all of that and a dream. That just, that's the best. This is the best. I love this shit. I'm gonna be doing a lot of drawing either later tonight or tomorrow, because I do want to get that last Wi-Fi Sucks video done before then. Maybe I should change it to my laptop sucks, but I feel bad. Oh, new revelation. It was just the hardware was not able to handle all of that. Which is fair. It is so fair that it was not able to handle that. My poor laptop was suffering. My poor laptop. Oh, goodness sakes. I feel bad now. Oh dear. Bless me, apparently. Jeez Louise. Thankfully I caught that before it happened, but not too early to where I couldn't sneeze, because let me tell you, lost sneezes are the worst. Those suck. Ooh! So many chills. Yikes. Do I have to double layer or something? Goodness sakes. Wind chill of the century. Okay, big stretch. Oh my goodness, I didn't know I needed to do that. I did a little bit of lifting today, but the stuff wasn't too heavy. I wasn't really pushing any limits, but I did do a little bit of lifting. Whew. Oh, I just realized. Oh, pardon the big yawn. I just realized. I did talk about this like ages ago about doing like a reaction video to the animated version of Lord of the Rings, because I bought the DVD copy of animated Lord of the Rings a while back. I can do that a lot more feasibly now. Like, a lot. So, the doors are open with the new setup. There are so many doors opening with the new setup. And now, maybe, just maybe, I'll do some things like take up Blender tutorials and create new life, and then finally buckle in and learn DaVinci Resolve so that I can make fancy videos. To be fair, my current video editing software isn't bad, But I did have a bit of a fist fight with it with that one Terra video. That one was really, really tough to pull off because I needed a few more clips and a few more overlay stuff that I couldn't otherwise do. There were like a couple more jokes I couldn't edit in because the clips had reached their maximum point. I couldn't add anything else to the timeline. So there is a timeline limitation, which is fair. I mean, that thing was practically a whole movie. Lots of things. Lots of things. I love it. This is awesome. I love the fact that my rig for this isn't even fancy. It's just a box. It's just a little tiny box that I can hold. Speaking of, let me double check on it. I just want to make sure it's breathing okay. Ow! Oh, she's breathing so nicely. That's good. That is excellent. It's in a much better spot too, because the spot it was originally at was directly below a vent, so it could get heated up pretty easily because of where it was. It's just, this is so nice. I am so flippin' jazzed about this. Whew. Oh, oh, dude. I have an idea, but it might start fights in some capacity. Basically doing rewatch reactions to some of the old movies that I grew up watching that were very, very Mormon. Oh man, that would be wild. Because there's two that I remember watching the most. I remember watching The Best 2 Years a lot. And then I also really liked watching the RM because it was really funny. There's another one that's also called The Singles Ward that I also think is hilarious. We only have the sequel, which hilarious. Like, I don't know, the production company that put those films together had a very small pool of actors that would regularly return, and they still did a pretty good job. They were funny. But yeah. Oh man. The possibilities are endless. The doors are open. I should not go through those doors though. I don't wanna have to pop back to my previous room save and lose like 80. I say 80 XP, but it's more like 60. Don't ask me to make weird combinations of 4s and 8s, because otherwise I'll be here all day. Actually, that wouldn't be too hard. Because essentially order wouldn't matter, it'd just be a differing number of 4s and 8s. And the variation would be 4... Okay, so 10, okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, hang on, let me do this right, because order doesn't necessarily matter. And with the shifting of the numbers, it also increases the 4s, so I don't have to count the combination. No, it's not a combination. Shit. I literally went through this in discrete mathematics, and I still can't remember. Difference between combinations and permutations. Listen to me, you're supposed to be listening to me, you creep. I say this as I'm typing in my Okay, okay, so permutations is where order matters. It's combinations. I am right. Okay, cool. We've solved the problem. There you go, folks. Okay, permutations. Permutations is where order matters. Combinations is where it just does not matter. So the combinations would be a max of... Okay, there's a max of 10 8s, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So about 11 combinations. Because the order doesn't matter. And with the decrease of 8s, it's... Yeah. Yeah, with the decrease of 8s, it's the increase of 4s, so... Yeah, so there's 11 possible numbers that we could have. That'd be kind of fun to figure out which ones there would be. That would actually be really fun to figure that out. I talked about this on the afternoon test stream, but there was an essay that I wrote back in university that I have sent to a related academic source, and I wonder if they've read it yet. I hope they got a kick out of it, because it was the funniest thing. It was actually really good. It wasn't just a comedy type joke. It wasn't just a joke essay. There was actually some serious to it. Funniest thing I've ever done. Very proud of it. And like I said before, I do still wish that I had not tried to be so serious all the time at university. When I was getting my degree and stuff, I wish I had allowed myself to be more silly, because I think that would have been a lot better for me and the people around me, and I would have had a lot more fun on a lot of my assignments if I was just a silly goose all the time. I mean, I can still be responsible and a silly goose. Do you know how awesome that combo is? I think it's great. That reminds me of a specific Tumblr post. I can't remember the user's name, but I remember them talking about how weird scientists are, and that, like, the lab instruments in one lab had, like, little stuffed toys around, and they're like, yeah, whenever the instruments aren't working, just wave the wizard around a little bit. It was like a little stuffed toy wizard. He said, oh, just wave the wizard around a bit. It'll behave. I don't think this was in the same thread, but there was also a post about a scientist who took a watermelon slice between 2 slices of bread and ate it like a sandwich. When you get respected in the academic community, you can just get away with a bunch of random, just the weird, random shit. It's great. I'm talking about the funny weird stuff, like the stuff that doesn't actually like harm anyone. That weird stuff is great. Like watermelon sandwich. Who does that? That's insane. It's funny, but why? That sort of thing. Of course, I guess the answer is why not. Whoa! What was that? Did we have a blip? Everything okay? I don't see a blip on the... Okay, I don't see a blip on the screen. That was weird. One of the decks on OBS just randomly refreshed for no reason. What are you doing there? You okay, buddy? You good? I didn't lose any frames, but that scared me a little bit. Goodness sakes. I mean, I'm always anticipating something to have problems, but goodness sakes, jump scare. Ah! Okay, everybody wants to be a weed whacker apparently today. Alright, cool. Well, that was freaky and will probably disturb my my nightmares. I meant to say nightmares and it just kind of fused with the word dreams, but it just what? Alrighty then, cool. We're doing great. I love this. Oh my gosh, guess what I have to do, chat? I need to lay back because my back hurts, unfortunately. I don't know what I did, but I must have done something wrong today, and I'm paying for it with my spine. Oh no, I know exactly what I did. I did the... Okay, so I have stairs, and they're carpeted, which means I have to vacuum them. And it's always good to be about 2 steps below the step that you're working on, and have a vacuum 1 step below that you're working on while you're working your way up. I use the hose and the hose attachment, by the way. I don't try to run the vacuum on the stairs. It never works. It's way easier to just use a hose. Anyhow, I did not keep my back straight, and I am certainly paying for it right now, so guess who's laying back? It's me. It's okay though. We're doing so good right now. I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy about this development. It's going so swimmingly. Yay! Every once in a while, I am a little scared. I'm like suspicious of the fact that there's 0 dropped frames right now. Just because I'm so used to dropping frames. That I'm like, wait, is it actually doing anything or is it not running at all? Like, I'm scared of that possibility. But it's perfectly fine, so I don't have the problems. Ow. That one hurt. I think I put... Okay, this is completely off topic. I was just thinking about this in the back of my mind because I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do some more of the bakery construction and do some kind of update because I was working on the wheat field, but the video that I recorded was completely busted and the footage had no audio. So it kind of sucks. Let's see. Ow. Rude. What was I doing? Oh, right. I was thinking about how to make the construction go a little bit faster, and part of me is like, well, you could learn how to use World Edit, so then you can get some of the bulk stuff out of the way. Life is a highway. I'm riding along. You're going my way. I wanna drive it all along. Yeah. Oh, you know what's extra great is I actually was able to find the adapter that I have for plugging in the what is it? The AV cables into the HDMI port. So then I can do the capture card. Basically the same setup that I did for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot that I did in 2022. I found the adapter, so I'm like, oh hey, I can play around with my Wii again. I don't think there are very many games that I can reasonably and accessibly do. Like, there's only like 2 games that have like, okay, I lied, there's 3. I forgot about Star Wars. I forgot about Lego Star Wars. I am off course. Goodness sakes. Cause Anything involving Mii's, I think, would just be off limits. I've already played through TMNT, so I'm not going to do that again. Not unless I started getting into speedrunning, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that. It is a wonderful community, though, from what I hear. I am not nose deep in the communities specifically, I just hear about them. I do hear about drama from time to time in the communities, though. But yeah, Guitar Hero would not work. One, because I think my controller might be slightly busted, or I just need to do some cleaning on it. That's probably it, actually. It's got some serious lag. And then there's Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games isn't really a full story-based game. And then yeah, so pretty much Twilight Princess and Lego Star Wars are the two games that I would be like, yeah, I can play those on the Wii. And I have like a ton of PS4 games that I can poke at. Like, oh my gosh, I can reasonably play Fallen Order without worrying about issues. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, that is great. Oh yeah, that was on my docket. That was on my docket for after the Command Roulette playthrough of Birth by Sleep. And we'll get to do the next part on Thursday! I'm so hyped about that. Hopefully we won't have issues, but I'm pretty sure we won't have issues. I'm so stoked about that. Oh my gosh. I can't remember if I tested out if the connection was a bust on my desktop when that one day happened with the 9 VODs. Oh, 9 VOD day was a nightmare. There were like max of 59 seconds between disconnects. It was horrible. It was so horrible, chat. I'm not even joking. Some of y'all were witness to that, for those who are VOD watchers. And I am so sorry about that. Because that probably sucked to go through. I am very proud of those who actually poked through those. Y'all are troopers, and hats off to you, and I salute you for going through that. And I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate that. And I still appreciate, I really appreciate my viewers for sticking it out with me through that, because that was a nightmare. I know that was not fun to just get notification spammed and then just constantly disconnected and having to deal with me dealing with the most likely my hardware just having a nightmare. This is so nice. I'm so happy about my desktop behaving. I'm really glad that it's just the device. I'm sad about my laptop being a pain, but I'm very glad that it's just my laptop, it seems. That makes me so happy. Oh man. I've got to do cooking tomorrow, and I've got 2 things, like there's only like 2 meals that I can, oh wait, I lied, there's 3 meals I can make. I forgot about the beef. Ooh, I could make beef and broccoli. That's not gonna last me long, though. Actually, it could last me long. It very well could last me longer. How many days will that last? I mean, I have potatoes, so I can make little mini potatoes for that to hold me over. I could make the mini potatoes and the beef and broccoli. Because comboing those, the combination itself will make me not as much of a glutton. That makes no sense in theory, but in practice, whenever I've had a meal where I have a starch, a vegetable, and a protein, like all 3, I do not eat like a crap ton. It helps me a little bit with portion control. I don't have portion control problems, and I'm not doing any specific dieting. I just pay attention every once in a while to, okay, I seem to be eating a lot more lately. Clearly there's some like stuff that I need to take care of. And I try to fill in the gaps where I can tell that there's a nutrient that I really need that day. Like, for example, on a regular basis, at least once every 2 or 3 days, depending on how things go, I always make sure that I have like some sort of apple or fruit or something like that. Like something that'll punch up the vitamin C boost. Ow. I'm killing it when it comes to the vegetables, though. I am doing so good with the vegetables, it's ridiculous. Whoa, sailboat moment. Actually, it's less sailboat moment, more, I thought I was gonna fall over for a second. And not because I'm dizzy, I just thought I didn't have support underfoot. I'm not standing, it's just the edge of the seat that I'm on gave way a little more than I expected. Gosh, this is great. I'm so freaking jazzed. Holy crap. Maybe I'll print out some new pictures to put in that stinking collage that makes me happy. Because there's at least 2 that I think I'm gonna replace. Maybe. There's 2 of them that make me feel a little bit like, maybe I should get rid of those. I'm gonna add it to the stack of photos that is crammed in there. I do like those a lot, though. They make me happy. I might be able to cram... No, I can't cram those in there. Darn it! Goodness gracious me. Sorry, I'm doing some tracking for a second. Okay, I fixed it. Nothing broken on the setup. I was just figuring out where it was at. I still think I'm kind of hungry. What the heck? See what I mean? This is probably one of those moments where the gap in my nutrition is I probably need some fruit or something like that, so... Guess who's gonna be eating an apple later tonight? Me. Regardless of what I do, I have to eat something later, because, I do not have enough vegetables and gravy to sustain, for the rest of the evening, and pretzels can only get me so far. And I don't want to make pasta, and I don't want to do the spaghetti and meatballs, because that is a future dinner. Although maybe it, oh geez. Okay, that was kind of a, okay, that was a little bit of an extra shiver. Maybe I'm just cold. I could just be cold. I do have a solution for that. I will follow through on said solution. It's called I'm gonna double layer. Wait, I could put on a jacket. I could put on a jacket. Let's put on a jacket, chat. And I know just the jacket. It's cute as can be. It's pink. And you might be wondering, do you like pink? And I say, yes. It's a pretty color. It's not particularly my favorite. I think my favorite is purple. Because purple seems to be everywhere for me. And I'm not joking, by the way. There's a lot of purple in my eyesight right now. It's not my eyes doing weird things. It's literally there's purple everywhere. Okay, just gotta fix the hoodie. I'm wearing one of those shirts that has like a hood on it, so it's like a little hoodie shirt. Ah, it's much better. There we go, nice and warm. Still cute, even though it's just cute for me. Yay! Oh, I love this. Oh, this is great. What a beautiful, beautiful day. This is awesome. Also have more, you know what's great about this, by the way, about the software behaving so it's not having connection issues, is that means I have more room for sillier, goofier rants and other things that I can rage at without having to rage about my connection. It can be problems that I purposely caused by either bad gameplay or other things. And I think that's wonderful. I think that is so wonderful. I love it. I am so stoked, dude. I'm so stoked. Oh my goodness gracious. Ooh, I wonder if I could be better at Human Fall Flat. It'd be really funny to find out. It'd be extremely funny to find out. I'm trying to remember... How the hell did I record Human Fall Flat? Was it a second monitor? I think it was the second monitor. I don't have the equipment to do a proper... No, I do. Okay. I might have the proper equipment to pull that off. Maybe. Okay, if I have a tray table of sorts, I currently have the wireless keyboard and mouse set up there, so that would be relatively fine. I would just need to find a way to... I would just need to do a little bit of engineering, which I have done before, by the way. I have done this before where I have used the television as my second monitor. It is a horrendous nightmare fuel setup, but it's really funny and it works. So it can be done. It can be done. I can use the TV as a second monitor. I would just need to do an adaptation, I think. Maybe I should have a VGA to DisplayPort adaptation. I'll have to check what is available on the back of my monitor, but I'm pretty sure VGA is the only option for this stinking thing, because it was bought in like the 2000s, so chances are... Was it the 2000s? It was like the late 2000s, like... Yeah. Maybe closer to the 2010s, actually. Lots of questions for my past self. This is going so swimmingly, I'm loving it. I gotta be careful. Hang on, let me take you two out, and then I'll finish my very intensive drinking session, apparently. I really need a lot of water for some reason. In fairness, I was working with a lot of dust yesterday and today, so that might be a contributing factor, actually. That might have contributed to my need for water. And also, I think I only drank like half the bottle today. So, yeah, I think I'm due for a excessive amount of water drinking. Yay! Oh, this is so awesome. I am living for the fact that everything is going so freaking well. And I'm very glad that I did that test run earlier so I could be a little bit more confident about it and not be like, is this gonna work? Is it gonna be fun? I'm so happy about the results too. It's so beautiful. I love it. I see 4 different things in my vision. It's kind of freaky. And it's not because of double vision, it's literally just I'm seeing through my glasses while seeing out the bottom of my glasses, and so that kind of shifts things around. Oh my gosh, I can actually see my screen. It's so beautiful, chat. Also, earlier today, that Power Wash stream was also a little bit of a test of my glasses. And I wasn't squinting and giving myself a headache, so I'm pretty happy about that too. Very happy about that. Huzzah! Oh my goodness gracious. I got a funny story about that particular song. I did not hear of that. I did not hear of Zippity Doo Dah from Song of the South. I heard it from this sing-along that was sort of 101 Dalmatians, except it was a single lady who was British and had her house decorated in like spotted stuff. And she also had this huge garden. And there was also an entire scene of characters playing baseball, and it was really funny. But in the opening sequence of this sing-along, which I don't remember seeing lyrics on the screen for it, but in the opening sequence, it's the song Zippity Doo Dah. So that's how I learned the song. Very, very fascinating. I'm actually, I can actually kind of see the bits and pieces of the VHS tape in my head, of like some of the little gadgets. One of the dogs pulls on a string to start up the shower. There's even like a little setup for feeding the pups. Ow. I still remember I still remember a huge chunk of that. I used to watch a lot of VHS tapes growing up whenever I wasn't in school or learning or something like that, and whenever I wasn't around friends. There were specific VHS tapes that I would watch over and over again. There was like this series called Growing Up Wild, where they would talk about different species of animals and different things about them. It was like a general overview of different types of animals, and one of them was like about canines, and one of them was about cats, and not just like domestic cats, but also big cats, like that one. There were some other ones, but those were the two that we had. One's about dogs, one's about cats. What they do during the day and the night. That's where I first learned of the tale of Romulus and Remus, who were the whole story, the founders of Rome and stuff like that. They did cut out the part where one of them killed the other. Something about a sacred ditch. I'm probably not summarizing it correctly, by the way. I don't know the specific details, but I do remember that. I do remember the raised by a wolf that took them in thing. I do recall that. Those two tapes were some of my favorites. Definitely that sing-along one. That one was a really fun one. What else was there? There were some other ones. Oh, did y'all know that MGM used to have a animation studio? They had an animation studio, and they did a adaptation of Tom Sawyer that had some musicals, and the voice actors did not, in fact, sing the songs, which is really funny. I can't remember. It wasn't okay. I feel like for some reason my brain thinks that Dolly Parton was involved, but I don't remember if that's actually the case. I do remember that there were country singers doing the singing parts of the characters in the film. They're pretty good songs, honestly. I wish I could listen to them on Spotify. I'll probably just track them down and get them somewhere so then I can just listen to them on my own. Because I really like the songs. They were fun. I used to watch that a lot. There were some DVDs that I used to watch where I would pick... I knew specific DVDs that had special features. Like, some days I would pick out ones that I had music videos that I would want to listen to the songs of. So I would just pull up the ones that had music videos and watch through each music video. Or sometimes I would use the special features because there were games on the special features of DVDs. That'd be kind of fun to poke around with, actually. Poke around on the special features of some DVDs on a stream. That'd be kind of fun. I'll have to track down some of them, but they're pretty interesting. DVD games were so cool. It was putting the menus to their maximum potential. It's those were always so impressive. I really love those. Why did this certain someone have to turn out to be such a jerk? I'm saying that in regard because there's a group of DVD games that I love to play, but I just... there's a lot of grief when it comes to that franchise, I swear. There's so much grief, it's actually kind of sad. I mean, that's the point of grief, is that it is sad. Oh, goodness me. I mean, hey, you can also still, like, I could still poke around on the, Can I still poke around with the Pirates film DVDs, or is there shenanigans with that, too? Goodness sakes. Nothing is sacred. Damn it. Oh well. Yeah, but I used to play DVD games. I used to sometimes actually watch said DVDs if I was in the mood for a movie. I would listen to soundtracks and tell stories with them to myself. I used imagination a lot growing up. It was a lot of fun. And of course, once I started putting things together and learning how to put footage together, I started making little videos. Some videos can and never will see the light of day. Some of them have already seen the light of day, but I have removed them. And then some, yeah. Some won't because I don't think I'll ever finish them, and plus it doesn't make sense for me to finish them for any sort of uploading purposes. Alright, guess who needs to remember that there's a thing called sitting up straight? Me. I need to stop crushing my poor diaphragm. I think I'm getting to the point in my life where I do need to start doing more core exercises. I can feel it in my back. My back's getting mad at me for not doing enough core exercises, so... maybe I'll start doing sit-ups in the morning or something. Or even crunches. Just something. Something to get my core in motion. Oh, big stretch. Ow! Why are you tense? I'm talking to my own back as if that's gonna do anything. Jeez Louise! I can't tell if this is one of those I'm getting old things or I messed up things. It could be one of the two. This is great. I'm gonna keep saying it. Still happy. Still super jazzed. Seriously, the fact that things are working so well gives me a lot of hope to be able to do things like... I don't know if I'd ever do collaborations, plus I'd be a little bit scared to do collaborations because I'm scared of people. Which is really funny that I'm doing streaming, even though I'm like, people, scary. I don't know. Okay, it's less I'm scared of people and more like I don't want to make a bad impression. And it's not like I've ever really... I've only ever made bad impressions right off the bat because I was a grumpy person or something like that at the time. Or it just so happens that me and the other person are the type of people that would clash, like, on site. That sort of thing. So, I don't know what the worry is. I don't know. It's scary. Oh well. The doors have opened. The doors have indeed opened, and I am super stoked about that. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. 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 Ba-da-ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. Ooh! Nice. I just saw something flying, so... It's always good to know when something flies. That was pretty sick, actually. I'm really fighting to not mess with my glasses because I took a look at the state of my previous glasses, the ones that I've been wearing. They have so many micro scratches on them, it's actually kind of horrendous. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I was walking around with those on my face. I had like so many ridiculous micro scratches. And I'm just like, ooh, maybe if I took care of these a little bit better, I would have made them last a little longer. So I'm gonna try to take extra good care of the new frames and stuff because I really want to make these babies last as long as I made the previous ones last. I would like them to last like 5 years, like I did with the last ones. I would love for them to last that long. I would love, love, love that, actually. I'm gonna keep saying it, everything feels good. Except for my back, apparently. Goodness gracious. Ow. There are doors in my mind that have opened, and it's a good thing. You know what's really funny, though, is I keep forgetting that my nightstand has been replaced. I keep forgetting about that, so I keep half turning around expecting to see what I used to see there, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I moved a couple of musical instruments there, and a couple of other things. There is something that substitutes as a nightstand, it just doesn't fit like 9 million things on it, like the other one did. Which is a good thing, by the way. It was desperately needed. That change was desperately needed. Hopefully it doesn't cause me a problem later on. Rude. Nice. We are on a roll with the slaying. I am so stoked about this. Eee. I'm actually super happy about the possibility of being able to continue the rest of, well, for starters, continuing the rest of the playthrough as Ventus with the Grap controller. Although it might have just been me all along, which is really kind of sad and depressing to think about. And I'm like, oh, I was just my own problem. But who knows? I'll try to push the R2 button a lot more next stream to try to get it kicked off. I hope that'll. Hang on. Let me finish my yawn there. I hope that'll cause me problems on purpose. Because that was the whole point of it, was to cause problems on purpose. Wait, no, it couldn't be just me. It does get stuck. Because I distinctively remember taking a video where I had pressed the button a few times, and it did get stuck, and I like showed on the camera that it was spinning while my controller was not, like, I wasn't touching any of the buttons. I probably could have shown it better, but I know for a fact that I wasn't touching the buttons, so. Okay. For some reason, it's just decided to behave as Ventus. Probably because I refused to touch the R2 button. That could also be a possibility, is just I am still technically the factor in all of this. Did I? Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that with the skipping around, I did finish Olympus Coliseum. I had already finished Disney Town. So Deep Space and Neverland, and then whatever happens for the rest of the game as Ventus is remaining. Okay. I don't remember the rest of it. That's the funny part. Also, I've noticed that I don't seem to have as much of an... This sounds so sad, but I didn't seem to have as much of an emotional attachment to Ventus as I did to Terra. I can't tell if it's because... maybe I wasn't... Yeah, maybe talking during cutscenes is what helped me get emotionally reconnected. I don't know. Who knows? I'm still figuring things out, okay, chat? I have been around for minimum 2 decades, and I am still figuring out my life. Ain't it great? Been here for a little while, still figuring out. But that should give you hope that if I'm nearly 3 decades into life and I'm still figuring things out, that means that you have plenty of hope of figuring out whatever you want to figure out. Okay? And I think I'm actually not behind the curve. I think I am on the curve, which I am perfectly happy to be. I don't mind being a little bit behind. Not anymore, anyway. I don't mind it. It means I get to watch and learn. But I also need to take my own steps instead of watching all the time. Watching all the time doesn't do me any good either. Let me say that a little bit better. Watching all the time does not do me any good either. There we go. That's much better articulated. For the folks who might be hard of hearing, I know I tend to swear. I know I tend to slur my words together and fuse them. So maybe if I pay attention to a bit of a transatlantic accent, I might be able to be a bit more articulate. And therefore easier to understand. The reason for the transatlantic accent, if I recall correctly, I could be incorrect. It was put together so then the people's voices could be picked up by the audio on the equipment for making those motion pictures. It was all for the sake of articulation and being able to be heard. Even with some of the roughest audio equipment you might have ever seen in your life. But At the same time, now the transatlantic accent is associated with older films, and therefore it gives you some kind of sense of nostalgia depending on whether or not you grew up with the films that primarily use the transatlantic accent. That was a very rough attempt at that, by the way. I don't know if I did a good job. I'll have to... Maybe I can practice that accent by watching a bunch of movies where characters use that a lot. I can learn audio stuff. There are some accents and things that I won't particularly, like, I won't show off or learn just because it doesn't sound right. Although, it would be good to learn some accents just for the purpose of being able to help with speaking the language, if that makes sense. Like, for example, when I am speaking Spanish, I'm not going to use the same accent that I speak with here. I mean, I might, but I'm more than likely to lean into, I was about to be dumb and ask if there was a distinction between a Mexican and a Spanish accent. Yes, there is, because it was one of the things that drove one of my friends nuts whenever I spoke Spanish, because I had that little Spaniard accent from learning it from somebody who learned it in Spain, and therefore some words sounded painful to them. Doce. Doce is one of them. 12. The number 12. I would say it like doce. It was a problem. A funny problem, in all honesty. It was a very funny problem, if you ask me. But it's good to learn accents, and because that is actually a good way of helping you with pronunciation in languages. Also, just learning how to pronounce the alphabets is a huge help. Like, learning how you pronounce the alphabet in Spanish is an excellent way to help you being able to read words in Spanish and read them correctly, so then it sounds about right. It's not a crime, by the way, to say things in your usual accent if you know how to speak, and if you're understandable enough, you'll be fine. But learning the accent will be a huge asset for anyone learning a language. Just be kind about it, okay? Don't be mean about it. That's the whole thing. And that's why I say, like, some accents I won't, like, just do on a command or something like that, because it wouldn't sound like... It would sound like I'm punching down when I'm not actually punching down, but it would sound like it. So a little bit of PR training for anybody who also wants to stream. If it might look like an insult or something mean out of context, the best idea is to not say or do it. This was actually something that came up in like mission training, like don't do anything that would have... Okay, they called it the appearance of evil, but basically it's don't do anything that looks like it would be breaking mission rules. That was the gist of it. But you know how it is with religion and stuff like that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm not you. I don't know your experiences in life. But that was the phrasing that was used. So, like, for example, pairs of elders and sisters, it was not a good idea to just be just a pair of elders and just a pair of sisters going out, because out of context, for some people, they would think that's a double date. And especially if you were unfortunate enough to get called to any part of Utah, oh my gosh, you would not believe how it's like it is like, so imagine how social media is nowadays, where nobody wants to do anything because it's like a freaking panopticon there. That's basically what it is. It's a whole panopticon, and missionaries are very much at the center of that panopticon where they're being watched constantly. But at the same time, they're also given some leniency by mission presidents because, goodness sakes, they get the dumbest calls like, oh, this elder kicked a rock down the street. It's like, ma'am, that's just a normal thing. You can kick a rock down a road. It's not gonna cause harm. Or when some of them still had fits over caffeinated sodas or something like that. Like, oh my goodness gracious. So many silly stories from that. Yeah. My mission experience for the Mormon Church was very, very fascinating and interesting. And because of the place that I was sent and assigned to. I was assigned to a part of Utah, and it was kind of funny, actually. I was a little bit in shock and a little surprised, but in hindsight, it was probably the best possible place I could be, because then I didn't have to worry about, like, visas. I probably would have been fine learning a language, but I probably would have been terrified at the same time with trying to learn a language. Because I always stop myself, because I'm like, oh, what if I do bad? It's like, girl, you gotta do bad at first in order to learn. It's a process. It's a process. Oh gosh, why is everything hurting? What the heck? Everything hurts! Why? Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on a second, chat. I'm gonna lay down again. Oh, this is so stupid, but you know what? It is what it is. Okay, I don't want to lay down though. That's the thing. For once in my life, I don't want to lay down. I don't feel exhausted. I don't feel drained. I feel functional. Shoot, even the yawns, like, okay, now that I've acknowledged it, the yawns are probably going to be a lot more frequent, but the fact of the matter is, I'm doing so swell, so, goodness sakes. I also had to get more soy sauce earlier. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just remembered I also have rice available to me. I forgot about the rice. I'm in business. Okay, I don't have to... I can hold off on the spaghetti and meatballs for another week. Okay, the reason why I keep saying I'm going to hold off on spaghetti and meatballs is because that is in fact a planned meal later in the week because of like family meeting up for Easter, holidays and stuff like that. It's just... we use it as an excuse to gather at least part of the family together, so... oh, that's going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh. Ow! I thought I was gonna be fine. I thought I wasn't gonna get chilly. I have a jacket on. I am supposedly warm. Okay, maybe I should roll down the sleeves. Maybe that's my problem. Goodness gracious me. You know what? I'll take the weird random shivers and stuff over any sort of software issues that affect the stream any day. I will take that. Oh my gosh. Everything hurts. Or is everything stiff? What's going on? Christ almighty. I'm actually super stoked about the idea of starting another game besides Kingdom Hearts. I do love the Kingdom Hearts series, but I also do understand that there might be some fatigue involved. I am still gonna keep pumping out the level 99 streams because I'd like to finish the level 99 progress and get into the actual game within the next year or so. I would like to be able to do that. We're a little over the 10th. We're over a 10th of the way through. Yeah, we're over a 10th of the way. Look at that. 311,992. We're almost at 312,000. Ain't that grand, chat? Ain't that just beautiful? In fact, I'm pretty sure if we take out just one dusk, we'll be at the 312. If my brain hasn't completely short-circuited and I can no longer do math for some reason. Alright, let's see. Oh, wait. Let it turn blue. Alright. There we go. 312,000 flat. Ain't that beautiful, chat? Isn't it? Isn't it the most beautiful thing on the planet? Look at that. Most excellent. Huh. So when we're at level 48, we'll be at 3,208. No, 328,786. There we go. Rough estimate. Based on the addition and current number of experience points we currently have. This is so good. I'm so happy about this. Hang on a second. I smell something good. 1 second. Do I smell something good? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, it's the best smell in the world. That is the best. Okay. I'm happy as a clam. Someone's barbecuing and it smells really freaking good. I'm jealous. I am so jealous. It's so funny. I'm like, ooh, barbecue. I'm always down for a good old plain burger. I'm such a silly goose when it comes to that, because whenever I get something, I always just try to get it in the plainest form as possible. Just because I like to not overwhelm my taste buds. I like it to just taste good and limited to like maybe a few flavors at once. I do like a little bit of mixture, but you know, every once in a while you just want something simple. And in my case, burger, just the patty and the buns, maybe a little bit of salt, and I'm happy as can be. I will accept cheese. I will accept American cheese on a burger, but that's it. I can't do tomatoes because tomatoes are a murder for anybody with acid reflux. This goes for anybody and everybody with acid reflux. Tomatoes are not your friend, unfortunately. I'm sorry. And then me and lettuce, we don't really get along too well. Onions, I prefer them in the onion ring format, so that ain't always the best. I'm not a friend with mayo just because I don't like it. I'm not a particular fan of sauces in general, but that's just me. Like I keep saying, I like things plain as can be. Just put, the max you can do is put cheese on my burger and that's it. Otherwise, just leave it as plain as can be. Don't put mayo on the bun. If you put mayo on the bun, I ain't gonna like it. I do not like it. Get that shit away from me. I'm white, but I'm not that white. You know, usually that phrase is used when it comes to like horror movie type situations where someone is like walking up to something that is clearly dangerous or clearly something that would be the introduction to a horror movie, and then people in the comments are like, yeah, I'm white, but I'm not that white. It's funny. It's one of my favorite jokes. I love it so much. Alright, 1 second. I need to drink more water. What the heck is going on? I think the last time I added chicken to the... Ah yes, added chicken to the beef and broccoli. I'm meaning to say vegetables and gravy, but my brain is doing the Frosted Flakes thing again. I think I added just a teensy bit too much oil to the cooking for the chicken. Because I mix up sesame oil and olive oil, and I think I added too much of both. So there was a little bit left over when I put it in with the, it's coming to me and put it in with the vegetables and gravy, so unfortunately I am indeed feeling it. Either that or I'm finding out that the pretzel recipe changed and now I can no longer eat pretzels, which is really upsetting if that's a possibility, but I don't think that's the case. Pretzels haven't done me wrong. Potato chips have done me wrong, sadly, and I really love the taste of potato chips. I really do. I like the ones that are light and crispy. They feel a bit... Oh, and I love the crinkly ones. The crinkly ones are so good. They have a little bit of extra structure to them, so they don't, like, break apart as easily. But those are real nice. But unfortunately, those are a little bit too oily for me, so... But the other unfortunate part is the baked versions they just don't taste right. It just feels like you're eating a solid, like, rock. And I have bitten a rock or two that was about as thin as a potato chip, and yeah, it wasn't that great. Oh, goodness golly. Please, for the love of all things good, girl, please sit up. Ow! I know this is completely out of left field, but I was just thinking about this just now. I think I have figured out what kind of skincare products I might look into. Because I have been thinking, man, I need to take care of my skin a little bit better. Other than just, you know, whenever I go out in the sun for prolonged periods of time, make sure I wear plenty of sunscreen. But in addition to that, just doing a little bit of taking care of, making sure it's nice and tidy while not stripping out all the oils and stuff. Oh gosh, ow. Basically making sure my poor skin doesn't overreact and have issues and breakouts, and then that way I don't pick at it and cause more damage to it and so forth. I think I need to look into the stuff for the dry skin. I think that would be my solution, is looking into stuff for dry skin. Because I'm thinking about it now. Whenever I've like added some moisturizer, my skin just eats that right up. It eats that moisturizer right up. So I think I'm in the dry skin section. And that does make sense because whenever I was living down south where it was a lot more humid, I was thriving in the humidity. Oh my goodness. I was thriving so well. It was great. So I guess I need to do a little bit of skincare for my dry skin. I'll need to do a proper face moisturizer though, because the hand and body moisturizer ain't built for the face. It's not quite the same thing. Face skin is a little bit more sensitive than that. It's good to mind your P's and Q's when it comes to your own skin. That way you can treat it nice. Because after all, skin is the largest organ of the body, and it's also the most protective. It keeps everything nice and contained, and it also protects you from a lot of bacteria and germs and other things. It's your first line of defense against pretty much everything. That's why you gotta take care of it. That's why you gotta wear sunscreen. And yes, that includes folks who are not palm colored. If you know what I mean when I say palm colored, you understand me perfectly. Y'all need to wear sunscreen too. I'm gonna get one more Orbeez just to get it to stop. But yeah, everybody needs sunscreen. Everybody. And it's also good to just keep yourself in the shade for whenever you're out and about. Keep yourself shaded. Wear nice big old brimmed hats. Make sure you hydrate. What else? Make sure to clean up if you accidentally splash harsh chemicals on your skin. Make sure to moisturize. That's also good, because your skin needs water and drinking water don't always do it. There's a reason why folks use chapstick. It's because sometimes chapstick is the only thing that's going to help you. The water ain't always going to get to the rest of your body. It's kind of like when you're, like for example, when people drink a lot of water, it doesn't always get through. It just ends up passing right on through, and you're just like, what the hell? Why did I drink this? If it's just going to pass right on through, what's the point? Here's the point. You got to drink it slowly. It's kind of like watering a plant. You can't dump all the water on it at once. You got to do it little by little. That's what we are. We're plants that need it little by little sips at a time. Of course, I say that having been one of the folks who have been doing big old gulps every once in a while and just drinking constantly. I'm doing fine. My kidneys are fine, and my pancreas is also fine. I've been keeping an eye on that baby. I've been babysitting my blood sugar for a while now. It does not spike. It drops, and it drops hard. It sucker punches me, in fact, and it's very vicious. Anyhow, you gotta do a little bit at a time to let the water actually soak in. There's other examples I can come up with. So for another example, the desert. When it doesn't rain for the longest time, it takes a while for the water to actually soak into the ground to do its job and really get into the ground to make plants grow and stick into the groundwater and stuff. So once it gets overwhelmed, it floods. Which is one of the reasons why when it starts raining heavily in a desert area, you want to get your butt to high ground and not be in any sort of canyon or valley at the time. That's a legitimate thing. People have died sticking around in canyons when it got rainy. It's a very dangerous thing. Anyhow, so don't flood things like mist it, but obviously don't use a mister. Just take little sips at a time. Let it actually stick in. I do understand in some instances where you do just really need to take big gulps of water, but I do also recommend the slow route. One second, I think I'm gonna cough my lungs out. And by Jove, I was right. Oh my gosh, that actually hurt. I'm gonna drink some more water. See what I mean? Gotta stay hydrated. Gonna try to take my own advice while I'm at it. Little sips at a time. There we go. Much better. Much better. Oh my goodness. I still can't get over how well behaved my computer has been. I'm so happy about this. I'm a little sad that my laptop was just not behaving so well, but I do understand. It is not meant... It wasn't really meant to be like the high-powered tool of mass destruction. It's more like mass data use. It wasn't meant to be a big old resource gatherer. It was just meant to finish off my school year because my old laptop was finally giving out on me. It was just one of those things. But it looks like... Oh my, that's a big yawn there too. That one actually kind of hurts still too. Maybe I'll eat an apple later. I've found that whenever I eat an apple, that always helps me feel better. And it'll probably get my poor stomach to calm down. I think my stomach's a little upset with me. Which I'm not surprised. Like I said, it must not have been a big old fan of the oils that were involved in the cooking with the chicken. It's fine, I'll live. It's just not a big fan of oily stuff, I guess. That's okay. I've understood that for a while now. That's why I changed up my diet. Added a lot more vegetables. I took out a lot of tomato-based things. I used to enjoy stuff that has marinara sauce in it. I can't enjoy marinara sauce, so I have to have some alternatives. But I also gotta be careful with how much oil I add to any cooking. Like, for example, when I do the spaghetti and meatballs thing, I use olive oil to cook my meatballs instead of cooking them in marinara sauce. I honestly kind of like it a lot better. I really like it a lot better. Who am I kidding? It means I don't have to fight with the marinara. But I do miss being able to make this horrendous monstrosity of a chicken parmesan casserole. And the reason why I call it a horrendous monstrosity is because it involves chicken nuggets as a substitute for doing all the bread into the chicken. So it basically saves you some steps. Very delicious. Probably definitely needed to be paired with a vegetable of some sort. But it was a good old recipe while I regularly had it. I certainly liked that recipe. It was very fun. Baked pasta recipes are pretty fun. Yes. It makes me miss lasagna too. Lasagna was also one of my favorite things. I would get those little Stouffer things, heat them up in the oven, eat that. That was my go-to meal for a time. Same with the little chicken parm meals that you can microwave. Those ones I like too. Whoa, what the hell was that? Okay. That was my PS4. So chat, what do you think? Do you reckon I should probably save? I have a horrible feeling. I have a very horrible feeling, in fact. I'm gonna save right now. We're saving. We're saving right now. I have a very bad feeling. Because, that little glitch was a first for me, and that was on my PS4. I saw it on my television screen. So, yeah, let's save. We're not done just yet. I'm just saving. I'm just saving because I'm a little bit scared. I don't want to lose all my progress. We've been at this for nearly 2 hours. I say nearly because we're only a few minutes away from the 2-hour mark. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we can continue. Okay. Whew, that scared me. Goodness sakes. Well, it's always got to be something. That's okay, though. I don't know why I had such a heart attack with that. Well, to be fair, before, when I was fighting for my life against my laptop, that wasn't really much of a problem because I was like, oh, it's probably just my laptop or it's probably just the Wi-Fi, you know, something. But like the game, and I was still making progress. That there, though, that was a little bit frightening. Please don't do that to me again, PlayStation. I really hope. Please don't do that to me again. That was a little scary. I did not like that in the slightest. That was horrendous. Alright, I feel a little bit better now that we made some more progress. Goodness gracious me. Huh. It's interesting how whenever I go further along into the live streams, like sometimes I end up picking up into the southern accent and sometimes I pick up into usually most often when I'm not picking up into the southern accent, I end up dropping down and kind of having a little bit more gravelly voice whenever I speak. I mean, that's just my natural default tone, to be frank with y'all. Like, let me see if I can get it to kick into gear. So like this is my normal voice whenever I talk to people. Like this is just my normal voice whenever I talk to like literally anyone. I don't really. There are some instances where I raise up my voice, like like for one example, when I'm working in when I'm talking business at any point, like when I was regularly working, I would try to talk and lift up my voice a little bit better to be a little bit more friendly, a little bit more approachable, still within my normal range and stuff, but like basically giving off the I'm friendly signals and I'm open to talking with you, I am open to listening, that sort of thing. I probably have raised my voice higher whenever I get a little bit flirty with somebody, but I haven't gotten flirty with anybody in a while. It's been a long, long time since I've gotten flirty with anyone. No, that's not true. That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. There have been a couple of times where I've probably gotten a little bit flirty with someone. And it was funny both times. I say both times, goodness sakes. It's funny too, because whenever I get even mildly flirty with somebody, I'm just trying to be friendly half the time. Like, most of the times when it seems like I'm flirting with somebody, I'm just being a friendly person. Oh my gosh, these guys can't collide against each other. This is good to know. Yeah, they kind of glitch out of each other. I would pay so much. Okay, would I pay so much to see a debug version? Square, I beg, if you ever see this, please just email me a debug video, like a 2-minute debug video of any of the games you're working on, and I will only post about it after the game comes out. Because I love looking at game development stuff, and I want to see how the hitboxes collide and stuff like that. I am an enjoyer of silly bugs. And I love watching the work get put together. I love seeing the construction of things. It's so beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things. Oh man, what a beautiful time. I was about to be like, I hope this is all working and everything, but then I remember I did stream earlier today. It's Tuesday. I'm at my usual time, and my stream isn't breaking, so it's not spamming everybody with notifications. So it should be fine. There is one thing I'm thinking about, is if my time of day is either too late for folks, or if it's too early, or something. It's a curse of time zones. Time zones are a curse and a half. Ooh, that was nice. 24 in like a few short seconds. Ooh, gotta straighten up. Whew, it's good for my back and my diaphragm. I say this every time. You know what? I'm gonna plant my feet on the floor. Maybe that'll get things to behave themselves. Oh, goodness sakes. Got a little bit of a snap, crackle, pop in every single joint. Wonder if I can get a snap, crackle, pop from the spine. Nope. Why are you so stiff? Oh, there we go. I finally loosened something up. I just had to turn the other way. I usually turn to the left and try to pop things first, but I had to turn to the right. Loosen things up. Yeah, that's much better. Oh my gosh. Didn't realize I was having such an issue with that. Well, I mean, I should have, because of the pain, but still, good grief. What a beautiful time. Imagine it's working just fine on literally every other device in the house and then nowhere else on the planet. That would suck, actually. That's what scares me about the 0 drop frames thing. I am still shocked. I have not had a single drop frame this entire stream, and that's frightening to me. The only frames I actually dropped were the ones on my PS4. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh my gosh, for a second I thought I heard the neighbors howling, but I think that was just a dog. I mean, I don't mind if the neighbors start howling. I just wish they had forgotten. Oh, goodness sakes. This is great. Oh, that is splendid. Absolutely splendid. You know, there is another thing that I don't mind about whenever my brain picks up on an accent, is that whenever it picks up on an accent, it kind of focuses on that, and then I'm a little bit more likely to be more articulate and use a little bit less of the ums and uhs and lags, although I'm pretty sure I still use the lags plenty, so. There are certain ways that I change up my phrasing, is what I mean to say. Like whenever I speak like this, my phrasing all changes up, a little bit of vocabulary shifts to suit my voice to be able to be more understood. I don't know, and I think my brain also just associates specific words and word choices with the accent, so that could be another thing. Meanwhile, when I'm at my quote-unquote default accent, I tend to be a little bit all over the place. Lots of hems and haws and whatsoevers. So just, it's a little bit interesting. It's probably just because I'm not really thinking about it, so my brain processor just skips over a bunch of things and then it forgets that it needs to actually have to do its job. Has a job to do and it needs to do it. And it ain't doing it because I ain't asking it to do much. Which I really should ask it to do more jobs. Maybe I'll do some reading. I could do some Shakespeare reading. It was actually a little while ago when I was having a little bit of trouble reading, so I sat down and started just reading through Midsummer Night's Dream. Read through the dialogue out loud. It was a lot of fun. I had a little bit of fun performing for myself. I didn't know exactly what inflections to do or anything like that, but I was just having a grand old time. It's real funny that my first experience with A Midsummer Night's Dream was literally just, it was an episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where all the characters were playing, Midsummer Night's Dream, while at the same time, the play itself was kind of the same thing that was going on. It was like the plot of the play was playing out within the storyline of the episode while they were actually, like, getting ready to do said play. It was very funny. It was honestly an excellent way to play out that episode, too. Perfect, actually. That was very well done. To whoever did the writing for that episode, kudos to you, because that was a spectacular thing and a nice little Easter egg for the adults watching who have known about Midsummer Night's Dream, and so they were like, oh, hey, I see where this is going. I love that. I love those multi-layered things. That's what I like about a lot of stuff that's geared to all ages, and when they forget that parents also end up watching the things their kids watch, is that there's a little bit of multi-layers, so then when you watch it after you've grown up, you're like, oh, this joke went over my head as a kid, but now this is extra funny. No wonder my parents still put up with me watching this over and over again. Had a little something for everyone. That's what makes it good. I think a lot of entertainment industry forget that sometimes. They forget that when you involve the kids, it kind of involves the whole family. The parents are going to be, hopefully they're supervising what their kids watch. I'd hope they'd be watching and paying attention. I know my parents paid attention to most of the things I watched and did, in terms of media. That doesn't mean I didn't get into my own shenanigans and watch some really interesting shenanigans, but I had some set of principles, partially set out because I grew up religious, partially set out because my parents were like, I don't think you're quite ready for that, honey. They didn't say it like that. Honey wasn't really a regular usage in the vocabulary except for my grandma. I think she was the only one who used the word honey. Interesting. I was just thinking about how I was thinking about how my parents like talked to each other. They used each other's first names, but us kids we still call them mom and dad. I mean, we still do. I don't think I'll ever not call my mom mom. It just doesn't feel right, you know? I don't think I could ever call her by her name. Just because I'm like, that's my mama. Same with my dad. I think the only times that I ever refer to my parents by their actual first names is when I'm like talking about them to somebody that they know and being like, oh yeah, my parents such and such name. Like that's what I would do. Or like, oh, do you know my parent so and so? And they're like either yeah or nope, I don't. Yeah. It's the little things, you know? But of course everybody has a different experience growing up and stuff. I was just thinking about that because of the honey thing, that's all. What a roller coaster I brought myself on in terms of languages and stuff. You know, funny thing, I did have a short period of time where I really wanted to be a linguist. You can guess where I got that from. I'll give you a second to guess for those who are VOD watching. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the answer is Milo Thatch from Atlantis the Lost Empire is part of the reason why I was considering going into linguistics at one point. He is the reason. He was one of my favorite characters growing up, and it also helped that he was voice acted by one of my favorite actors at the time, Michael J. Fox. I mean, he's still one. I hope he's doing a little bit better. I know he's been having a little bit of a rough time with Parkinson's. I hope he's doing a little bit better, just a little bit. But he was one of my favorite voice actors growing up, especially. He was a big portion of my childhood with Atlantis and with the movie Stuart Little. Those two movies were very much my favorites growing up. Loved them to bits. Yeah. I've seen some of Michael J. Fox's other performances too, like Back to the Futures and so forth. I still think it's wild that while he was filming Back to the Future, he was also doing, I can't remember the name of the TV show, but the fact that he was going back and forth and his character was basically doing like a job, like working all day or something like that. So he would pop in, do his part on the show, and then he would go and film, and then he would like get barely enough sleep, and then he would get woken up by the cab ready to take him to the filming again, all over again. He was a real trooper. He is a real trooper, goodness sakes. Hats off to you, Michael J. Fox. As if he's gonna end up watching this. Silly me. But yeah, still one of my favorites. It's funny how different things end up inspiring you in some way or another. I was thinking about creativity and inspiration just the other day. And I was thinking about that because, god dang it. It's so funny, Amazing Digital. It was the Amazing Digital Circus that got me thinking about it. I was thinking, Kane's kind of limited to whatever input he was given so far, and that's all the extent of like whatever knowledge base he has is what he can create with and synthesize and create all those adventures with. And I was thinking, well, he's kind of not that different from humans in that aspect because we can extrapolate from that. I think that might be the key difference, is the extrapolation from that, maybe? But a lot of things that creatives do is they end up inspiring each other, and then I think there is a key difference. There is some extrapolation that goes on. That's what a lot of humans do, is they extrapolate based on the things that they see around them in the world. Like, I can't remember exactly the location, but there is a location that inspired the floating islands that exist in the Avatar movies on Pandora. Whoa! Okay, I did just see the Steam Decks have a little bit of a connection there. It's not the Steam Decks, it's the OBS decks. They were having a little bit of a connection. I hope it's not because I didn't update OBS Live. I think it might be because of that, actually. It just did a little random refresh. And I'm noticing it, very prominently, in fact. Anyway, back to the whole creative stage. I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh yeah, well, people oftentimes, they tell writers, you gotta read lots of other books. If you're having a little bit of trouble, go outside and listen to people talk to each other and listen to how they actually speak about things. Like those type of things. Or they tell music artists to like listen to different types of music. Or artists, they tell you to go out, take pictures of things, look at things, that sort of thing. Like, shoot, a lot of my favorite Minecrafters and a lot of the Hermit Crafters, sometimes they go out to locations and take pictures of things. I can't remember which season, but I think at one point, Gemini Tay, she went out and took some pictures of some castles for a bit. And I think I'm pretty sure Mumbo did plenty of pictures to like an inspiration for the cliffs and so forth that he's been building most recently. He's been paying a lot of attention to how the environment's looking and things like that. Scar's taken a lot of inspiration from from a lot of the big old redwoods when he built those trees up in season 10. Oh my gosh, those trees are still impressive to me. Oh my goodness. But see what I mean? Like taking inspiration from the world around you, taking in all that input, synthesizing. Maybe you end up copying it and interpreting it in a different way, or sometimes you end up creating something entirely new. Like, for example, take Star Trek, for example. The concept of like a communicator in your palm of your hand was like kind of a surprise, and it's extra funny. My dad actually told me about this a while ago. One time he was watching Star Trek in theaters. I think it was for a re-release or something like that. And one of the characters pulled out a communicator that operated similar to a flip phone. And my dad took out his flip phone and flipped it open and just kind of looked at it for a second and thought, wow, that's amazing. Or like Star Trek Next Generation, they had the concept of the sliding doors open. I think they also did that in the original Star Trek, of like the doors automatically opening. They didn't have those at the time. On sets, the doors didn't always open on time. They had to pull them open manually to make it look like they were automatically opening. And now we have automatically opening doors that are a heavy staple in a lot of grocery stores. It's fun. The process of creation is a beautiful thing. I love it to bits. Goodness sakes. But I was just thinking about that, about taking inspiration and things like that. Like, shoot, I've written stories where I have been inspired by some of the themes and some of the aesthetics, like, for example, Kingdom Hearts, or a lot of people who write fantasy have been inspired by Lord of the Rings and the aesthetic of the world. A lot of people were inspired by, for another example, Dracula. People wrote all sorts of different vampire stories. The fella who came up with the character of Lancelot was inspired by the stories of King Arthur. It's still funny to me that essentially his little fan fiction of a character became canon. That was really funny. I think there's also a second character who is meant to be even more virtuous than Lancelot. I think he also technically kind of became part of the canon. Oh, Camelot stories are really fascinating, by the way. Or I do recognize that there were multiple booms of dystopian fiction, but Another really good example of something that has inspired a lot of other dystopian fictions is The Hunger Games. Hunger Games is the one that still stands out and holds up because it wasn't just focusing on the concept of, oh, this society sucks, it's divided and it's meant to divide people, here's a revolution, let's fix it. Because The Hunger Games was very much based on what the author Suzanne Collins saw when working in television about what happened to some of the kids that worked in television and the whole spectacle thing that is often focused on, which is really funny because that did happen in the advertising of the film and other sorts of things. I'm only slightly tickled about the fact that Collins keeps writing books to remind us, no, this is bad. Please remember that. Do not forget. Oh my goodness. The whole of the Hunger Games and the story of Panem and everything like that is an excellent examination of that society, of the dystopian society that has some strong reflection of the current one. Many dystopians do have a reflection of, at least the really good ones that have been sticking around with everybody for years and years. They have a reflection of what was going on at the current time. 1984 even had a little bit of that going on. If I remember right, when was 1984 published? Let me double check, because if it was published in the year that I think it was, I think I know exactly what the problem was going on in there. 1984 publishing date. Published date. It was published in 1949. It was published in 1949, which would have been a little while after. That's about 5 years after the rough ending of World War II. And not too long after the end of World War II, we had at least in the US, I don't know about, I'm not too familiar about the history of the rest of the world. I need to work on that, but there was this thing in history called the Red Scare, where everybody was like, "Oh, you're a communist. Oh dear, you're evil," and that sort of thing. It was a whole mess. There's a whole thing called McCarthyism, where one of the senators, Senator McCarthy, was basically leading witch hunts to try to weed out those darn communists, and a lot of Hollywood folks got blackballed just because of happening to go to one meeting or something like that. It was a really, really rough time for the U.S. and it got real nasty real fast. People were turning on each other, like kind of like the Salem witch trials, where they were pointing fingers at other folks. That was the thing going on. I think that would tie into the whole themes of the mass surveillance. Oh, George Orwell, if you could see us now, you would be so disappointed. You would be so incredibly disappointed. Sorry about that, George. I say that as if I'm familiar with him on a first name basis. Silly me. I have actually read the book. There's a copy somewhere in my household, and I remember it very distinctly because I picked it up and looked at it. I was like, oh hey, this book exists here in my house. And I read it. I have very vague memories of it, by the way. But one of the things I remember most distinctively is a newspaper clipping used as a bookmark in there. I can't remember what the newspaper clipping said, but I felt like it was related to it in some capacity. I remember it very distinctively, though. It's funny how there's like certain memories that stick out to me more than others. That reminds me, I'm pretty sure it's on the shelves that I can't quite reach right now. Darn it. If I can find the copy of 1984, I'll relocate it to my bookshelf so then I have easier access to it. There are so many books I should give a second go around so then I can really fully appreciate and understand the messages that are being put across, and then challenge some of them. Well, challenge some, not all of them. Basically examine them, work with them, work against them, that sort of thing, you know. Play around with them. Use my brain wheels. Grease those wheels, gosh darn it. Goodness knows I need to grease my brain wheels a little bit. Keep the rust off those gears. Lots of books. Lots of books. It's also really relaxing on the run. It doesn't give the same dopamine rush as constantly doom scrolling or staring at your phone or social media or anything. But I do recall a time where I used to devour books like nobody's business. Not like physically eat them. I mean devour as in read through them really quickly. I think I would benefit though from a slow read where I read out loud. I think that'd be a good thing to go for. Anyhow, you know what? I'm looking at the time. We've gone a little bit further than before, but we've made plenty of progress. So, let's give ourselves another save. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And we're almost to 80,000 money. We are going to be menaces to society. That's going to be funny. Alright. That is going to do it for the stream tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed for anyone who stopped by, or if you happen to be watching the VODs either on the YouTube or the Twitch side. Speaking of which, if you want to continue following this journey and some of the other gaming journeys I am going to be traveling on, feel free on the YouTube side to hit the subscribe button. That way you can get notifications for when I go live. Or if you're on Twitch, hit the follow button. That way you can get notifications for when I go live. Thank you all so much for watching. I also have a socials. I'm all over the place apparently. I lost my groove. That was fast. Anyway, I have socials. I have Twitter, YouTube. I have Twitter, Blue Sky, and Tumblr. Good lord, I am all over the place apparently. They are all at YellowFang42. Twitter and Blue Sky are the ones that I post my notifications for when I go live to. When Tumblr is where I shitpost. I'll have a little bit more easier access to it now, thanks to the fresh setup. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, and night. And here is your end stream screen. You have a good one. Bye!